Well, rising, well, rising. Hello, hello. So today's prayer circle, it's interesting. A few things came up with me today, this morning. Um, First, I immediately woke up with a beautiful song. A friend of mine's mother passed away, and she asked me to sing at her funeral. And this morning, a song came up, and it was so beautiful. And it basically was a beautiful song just about the transition of when, how the sun goes down, our life goes down. But really, when we're passing on, we're really coming into new life. We're really coming into new life. Please excuse if you're hearing coughing. Someone around me is moving through a sickness and healing. But when we pass on, it's really going into a whole nother life. And one could even argue, and I've heard it this way in a meditation of mine, where it's like, really, this life that we are physically experiencing is death. And what we consider death is actually the life. And everything's flipped and opposite. So that's always an interesting perspective. But I feel to bring some information in and acknowledge um, just other aspects of our essence. So let's start with prayer. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and guardians of the highest love and light, thank you so much. Thank you, Yahweh. Thank you for this prayer circle. Thank you for guiding us, for teaching us, for connecting us even more in with ourselves. Thank you for helping us with our health, our wealth. Thank you for your eternal light. The word eternal light is coming up right now. Thank you for the eternal light that's within all of us, helping us thrive. And in Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen. I also ask for the divine protection. I also ask for the divine protection, the heavenly, impenetrable wings of love and light to wrap around our faith prayer circle now, and every prayer warrior that's a part of this faith prayer circle, and also um, every person that we're connected to, every family member that we're connected to. I ask for your heavenly wings of love that are just impenetrable. Nothing can poke through them, can get through them. So just wrap around us so wonderfully, cozy, and protect us from any evil, from any negative entities and energies, regardless of source, across all space, time, and dimensions, and of all those kinds of sorts. And I thank you so much, Yahweh. In Jesus Christ's name, I like to pray. Amen and Ashe. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Put your right hand over your heart and your left hand on your head. We're just going to create a mind-body connection, a mind and heart connection. Exhale out your mouth, allowing the heart and the mind to become one now, to be in agreement with each other rather than in strife or struggle. I like to do this often whenever I feel like the mind's just going, but my heart's wanting to do another thing, and it seems like they're not in alignment. And so, in this way, it allows myself using my own healing hands to connect the mind, the body, and the brain to be one, to unite. And even just speaking that out loud makes that happen. The mind, the body, and the brain, or the mind, the body, and the heart are connected now, are connected, are in alignment, and are connected with the divine source, that eternal light of love and grace and so much support. And so it is. Claim this, and so it is for you as well, my dear friends. So, as I mentioned before, I woke up with a beautiful song to sing for my friend's mom's funeral. And it was really just about some of the words were as the sun goes down, and it was talking about just things coming back in the new day. And it really speaks to how when we pass to us in this physical realm, it's like well, there's so many texts, wisdom texts and concepts and philosophies that talk about how this physical space, this is really an illusion, right? So it's interesting because it's like the illusion is that it's life, but it's really death. What is this body? Because this body, it lives for a time, but it really dies. And what's eternal is our spirit inside. And it makes sense to me now why spirit brought the phrase to me a little earlier, eternal light. Eternal light. Thank you for that, Yahweh. Eternal light to help us understand that the true life is what's inside. The true life is our divine essence, is what lives on beyond the life of this body, beyond physical experience, right? And so then I get into, and I know this is so like a shoot, a quick, swift left. But this brings me to Jai Kali Ma. Kali Ma. So this is interesting because we're coming upon Halloween. So only the aesthetics of this goddess, of this what do you call it? Deity. There you go, the deity in the Hindu tradition, Kali. The aesthetics of Kali is fitting for Halloween, but it's very misleading. Her aesthetics are very misleading because it is a scary image, Kali. If you look up Kali, and I'll read a little bit about Kali, it is a scary image of what you see this goddess to be. But the message, the intention, and the story of what Kali represents is powerfully queen, just beautiful, right? And it has to do with this concept, a little bit of this concept that I spoke about of our eternal essence versus our egoic essence. This body is more of the egoic. Kali has to do a lot with what I've been learning so far, with helping us let go. The goddess that helps us let go of ignorance, of the attachment to the physical realm, the attachment to the physical body. Kali really helps us with that. And so she came to my awareness this morning as well, and I read a little bit more to understand. And so if we just judge a book by its cover, such as the image of Kali, then we will miss out on this divine kind of help and assistance. She slays demons. She slays demons. She clears them out. And so there's more to the story on that. And so I'm just going to share a little bit of what I've learned about Kali. Let's see. So Kali Ma's symbolism. Oh, you know what? Let me start here. So Kali Ma, she's visually a scary looking goddess with her tongue protruding, large shimmery eyes, and skulls around her neck, a skirt of arms holding a severed head. Kalima, the goddess of time and change. Okay, very interesting. So in this way, the essence, the concept of time and change is Kalima. Nothing can survive time and change. Everything has to obey by this natural law of time and change. Naturally, time makes us old. Change, the seasons makes us old. And we have no choice. No matter how much the ego wants to hold on to what we were yesterday, we, by universal law, have to obey this concept of Kalima, the divine change. Everything has to obey that. It's so beautiful. So in this way, it's that essence. Kali Ma has been misrepresented into a scary tantric goddess. But what are the truths behind this goddess? Kali comes from the Sanskrit root word kai or kal, which means time. Her symbols are flowers, dance, iron, swords, peacock feathers, and honey. Even in destruction, she reminds us that good really can come of bad situations. If you find your hopes and dreams have been crushed, Kali can change the cycle and produce life out of nothingness. Where there is sorrow, she dances to bring joy. Where there is fear, she dances in courage. Kali Ma's symbolism in her left hand, Kali Ma goddess carries the sword of knowledge to destroy ignorance and a severed head, which represents liberation from the ego or attachment to the body. Kali's two right hands are shown uh, in fearlessness and in blessings in two different mudras that I'm not very good at pronouncing. Ab, Abhaya mudra and Bharata mudra. She is she is most popularly depicted with four arms, though sometimes 10. And her 10 arms formed is called Mahakali. And her 10 arms are depicted holding many different ritualistic objects and weapons, each of which represent the power of one of the devas. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit more here real quick, and then we'll move on. Kali Ma wears a garland of skulls and a skirt of dismembered arms because the ego arises out of identification with the body. She destroys our attachment to the temporary body and reminds us to enjoy the beauty of life because death is certainly coming. And how many ways death comes, right? Death comes not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally. How many times as women, every month we go through a silent death of our menstrual cycles. Every, season, every couple of weeks, our taste buds change. Every 7 years, our cells change. Every day, as the sun comes up and the sun goes down, a whole new death, a death and a new life has come. All many, many, many kinds of deaths we experience in so many ways. Um, where was I? Oh, okay. The garland and skirt are trophies worn to symbolize having liberated her children from attachment to the limited body. She holds a sword and a freshly severed head dripping of blood. As the story goes, this represents a great battle in which she destroyed the demon, Rahak, I think it's Rak, I'm not sure to pronounce it, but somebody can help me there. Her black skin represents where creation arises and into which all of creation will eventually dissolve. Nowhere in the Hindu scriptures is she seen killing anything but demons, or is she associated with killing humans? So this is interesting. It is true that both Kali and Shiva are said to inhibit cremation grounds, and devotees often go to these places to meditate. This is not to worship death, but rather it is to overcome the I am the body idea by reinforcing awareness that the body is a temporary aspect of life. Shiva and Kali are said to inhibit these places because it is our attachment to the body that gives rise to the ego. Shiva and Kali grant liberation by removing the illusion of the ego. So there's a celebration that happens around this time, around the fall, and they say Jai Kali Ma. Okay. And so basically, Jai is victory to Kali, the mother. Victory. The victory has won. She already overcome and slayed the demons. She slayed them. That's what she's known for. She's known for slaying those demons, slaying the demons of our illusions, and helping us be liberated from this, from the stronghold of the ego, and so that we can let go of this physical form so that we can, and really have no choice to, whether we get to the end of the life and we're not ready to go, and want to hold on to the physical form. Everything has to obey to this universal law of death, transition, and change, right? So even though the goddess Kali Ma is very scary looking, it's just symbolization. But the message behind has to do with um, the victory being one of helping us change, helping us grow, and then also and liberating all of her children, the God, the great goddess, the divine, the creator of all things, helping us be liberated, right, as we are children of God, helping us be liberated from our physical woes, from our physical attachments. And then there's so many other little representations in there. As they said, her black skin, her super black skin, it represents like the universe, right? And out of the universe, there's comes out creation. And if you think about just there's so much symbolism and poetry and magic in the Hindu and the Sanskrit and the Hindu scriptures. The Bhagavad Gita, I'm slowly moving through this now, but that's also something that one can dig into and find more information as well. So I felt to bring this up because one, it's the aesthetics of Kali is very fitting for our American celebration of Halloween, because it just looks scary and all this stuff. But the message behind this goddess is love. The message behind this goddess is love. Really, through that part of the divine feminine, she expresses that part of us that is the divine feminine that goes to war for her children, that liberates her children, that will do anything for her children, and that does not accept crap, does not accept, right? She literally slays demons. That's what she does. So in this way, she shows another essence of love. And so it's an interesting thing as I learn more about who I am, and I've asked God to show me and help us know more of who I am. I'm sharing what I learned about who we are, who I am with you. And that's what part of what I love about the Hindu scriptures is because many people who are maybe, from America, and I used to be one of these when I was younger, I would have judgment. I would judge a book by its cover and think that the Hindus, oh, they worship, devils or this and that, because you see these images, literally not knowing the story behind anything, not knowing scriptures, not knowing anything about anything with it, just seeing this picture that looks so scary. It's like, oh, they worship that. No, that's not and in that way Kali came to me and helped me let go of some of the ignorance, right? Help me, and which allowed for my heart to open more, for deeper understanding to open more, for me to be in connection with Yahweh, with compassion, with love, with grace, but also my fierceness uh, and self-respect, right? In slaying, helping me connect with that part of me that is Kali, to sever the demons within me so that we can be in alignment with our self-love and deep connection. There's so many aspects to it, and I'm learning literally now more. And even as I speak, I'm feeling more connection in liberation, and it's so beautiful. Um, but yeah, there's so many beautiful goddesses and gods and the stories behind all the deities in the Hindu culture that really allow us to also in the orishas, the Yoruba traditions there, or the Ifa tradition, the African deities as well. There's so many stories behind them as well, all very similar, just told from the perspective of that culture. And it's wonderful. Same thing with the all Asian, Japanese, Chinese, they have different, you know, gods, goddesses, and Native Americans, and there's so many cultures all over the world that have their deities that are sharing. They share the message of love, but it's really they're teaching us about the different personalities of who we are, of the oneness, of the different aspects of God, of all the different aspects of God, because God is light and the dark. God is both. God is the yin yang. We cannot have one without the other. And yet the eternal light perseveres. The eternal light perseveres. the wisdom and the understanding of that, I don't truly know. I can't say I know. And I feel like most of us will only know once we go back home. Um, so I won't even try to attempt to explain that. But I do understand that we are eternal, and the essence, the me that speaks out to you, that lives forever and is truth. The, the casing in which you see is only a part of the ego and is the temporary me and just a borrowed experience to carry my message through to you and to each other and to share our love and to experience love and to all the things. And then my spirit moves on to something else, right? To a different way. And then we have the Christian faith, right? That believes we go on to heaven. And I'm not certain all the way. I'm still studying in some of the Christian philosophy, but uh, what I do remember is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Christian does not believe in reincarnation, and that's okay. I feel like that. I feel like there's a I truly believe in the way of as you believe it is, so shall it be, because I truly know and feel we are the children of God, therefore we are God, therefore we are gods and goddesses. And so whatever reality we speak, we say we believe, it is so for us. But then there is also, because we are children, we are infants in our understanding. So we don't truly know. So I take every text, every information that I receive and that I learn and that I gather with a grain of salt, always with a grain of salt. I receive it, I see what I can learn from it, I feel and accept whatever resonates with my spirit and my soul to help my evolution and help me let go more and more and more and be more in love more and more and more. And the rest, I just leave it and let it go. It doesn't matter, you know. So I don't claim myself to any one religion. I just really, my religion is love. If it makes me more loving, then it must be it. You know, even if it's not a religious text. Okay, that's how I go. But I love the religious wisdoms, all the different concepts and philosophies from all over the world, from our ancestors and guardians and just ascended masters who came before us, who shared what they learned, you know. And then there's this new generation that we are, and we're learning so much that they have yet, our ancestors have not experienced. So we are adding even more to that wisdom and to that information. But these wisdoms have stood the test of time. There's a reason why the Bhagavad Gita has been and the yogic information has been there for in the Kemetic yoga and all that information and the Native American information and the you know all these wisdoms have been there for years, literally more than thousands of years, and standing and stood the test of time for a reason because it actually is working in some kind of way. Um, and literally those things that aren't real and or do not hold truth, don't have a stable foundation of truth, it always crumbles. Period. It always crumbles. Whether if it is in a lifetime or two, it still crumbles. It doesn't last, you know, the test of time. And therefore, then we come into that concept about Kali again, who is time and creation, or who is time and change. You know, all things that would try to claim itself to be truth has to go through the filter of time and change, has to go through Kali, has to go through. And if it is not truth, if it is not that a part of that eternal light and love, then head is chopped off, right? Or something like that. I don't know, you know, but it is destroyed and it cannot go on, you know. And that's not a debate, it just is truth. The way that is that concept is shared can be debated. Sure, it could be debated in the Hindu way, in the Christian way, in the Buddhist way, in the Ifa way, the African way, in the Native American way, whatever way. It could be told in a way, uh, in so many ways that we tell the same story of love, right? The same story of truth. But the fact that nothing can uh, can, you know, go against the universal law of time and change, and nothing can't be liberated by Yahweh. It states that truth always will remain. We are liberated by Yahweh, period. We are liberated by God. The victory has already been won. And our ancestors told the stories and shared the stories that we are loved. This is a fact. This is truth. And so hold that truth. Always remember that. Especially, I felt that this message needed to be shared for any of you, any of us who are going through the moments of change. We're literally in fall right now. Fall and winter is the time of change, is a representation of also another way that Kali Ma shows up, that Kali Ma shows up. She shows up in the season of fall, in the season of winter, right? She's showing up in some way in that way as well, forcing everything. We have no choice. Who can stop a leaf from falling down when it's time? No one, no one can stop that process because that is just the way it is. And it has to rejuvenate itself. It's a beautiful process. And in that way, same thing, excuse me, same thing within us, same thing of the information within us, the the concepts within us, the personality of us, uh, our emotions, the way we feel about love has to change. It always has to evolve. And the more we just are in resistance, the more that it feels painful. That change is more painful. Whereas if we go with the flow and allow that change to come and the evolving to come and our deals or things to loosen up a little bit more, our minds to open and go with the flow, it's less painful, it's more fun, it can be more joyful, and it becomes more of a celebration, a welcoming of death, a welcoming of death. And I truly feel that, especially in my yoga practice, when we go into Shavasana, which is basically just laying down at the beginning or the end of the practice, and we're laying down flat, almost into like a baby star position, palms facing up towards the sky. It's a symbol. It's also called dead man's pose, and it's a symbol of the who we came in to the class with that day, our practice, now has, after we did the whole practice, now it's gone and dead and we let it shed. So then we come back alive and we arise back into a new and better version of ourselves, even if it was just a thin layer of our skin that came off, right? A thin layer of that old energy that came off. And it's such a beautiful flow that I love to do. And so if we can find a smile, so I use that Shavasana time to practice my death, quote unquote, right? To practice the joy in the death. And so I found, and this is actually for me, I've been practicing since 2012, but yoga, but this is a new part of my realizing that I've been having this year in my yoga practice is to smile. I bring a big smile in my Shavasana. And when I do that, I notice that in my Shavasana, my muscles start to relax and I surrender a little bit more to this death. My palms, my hands, you're usually relaxed, they're like this. When I smile, my palms fully open into full surrender and receiving the change, the information, the wisdom, and the flow of Kalima. And it's really beautiful because it made me realize, oh, I'm practicing having a smile on my face when the time comes. So when the time comes for this physical body to be released, I do it with grace. We do it with grace. So I honor my mom's or my friend's mom who just recently passed, Miss Sylvia, and I honor her and I give thanks for just how her passing in general, and even just knowing her for the short time I did, ignited and ripple effect in this all of this information, even within me, and so on and so forth. It created a ripple effect of understanding and wisdom and liberation and change and um, expression, to really expand in a way that honors truth and love and light and God, the eternal light, even more. So I thank you, Yahweh. Let's pray. I thank you, Yahweh, for this understanding. I thank you for unblocking our blessings through the way of Kalima, the way that you do. Thank you for bringing that information, that wisdom, that truth. Thank you to the Kalima, essence. Thank you so much for how that works and for guiding us through and helping us understand and move with grace, to let go with grace. Help us, and please give us the strength and the courage and the wisdom and all the self-respect, all the things we need to move in the changes, to move the changes, to flow with the changes with grace, with humility, with joy, with what is the word I'm looking for? With positivity, with willingness, with great willingness, and ease, unafraid, and with so much courage. We ask for your help and your divine assistance to have the courage that is needed, and for our family and friends, for everybody we know, to help us let go of what no longer is serving us, so that we may be liberated, even into even more love, even into the expression of love, so we may receive more love and give more love, and come into the forgiveness of ourselves and the forgiveness of all else, wherever it may be, and those, let go of those hells, so we can let go of those hells, those mental, emotional, physical, spiritual hells. We let go of those things so that we can be liberated into the heavenly realm. And I thank you so much, Yahweh, for bringing that awareness to us and helping us better understand who we are, understand who each other is, how we can relate to each other, how we can, thank you for helping us let go of things more with grace, with ease, with respect towards each other, and to honor each other and ourselves. Thank you so much for the mental clarity, emotional clarity, physical, spiritual clarity, deep understanding of the cycle of life, of the circle of life, and the circle of thrive. I call it the circle of thrive, right? Because Spirit told me a while ago, we don't die, we thrive. We're not dying, we're thriving when we pass on. And so I just thank you so much for bringing us so much more love in the ways that it happens. Though seemingly it feels and looks as a tragedy, just like the illusion of the image of Kali Ma looking like a scary tragedy, yet really is a metaphor, or is the illusion of love, is really behind that depiction of the tragedy or the fear, is really love on the other side of the coin. Um, and just when the smoke and the mirrors of fear is is cleared out, we find love. And I thank you so much for helping us understand that more. I feel too, and you go ahead and join me. Put your healing hands on your shoulders. Take a deep breath in your nose. Exhale, breathe it out as you move through your changes, as you grow, just supporting yourself in so much love. Imagining maybe your angels, your spirit guides coming and bringing their hands. We ask for their hands and their sweet kisses, angels. We ask for your sweet kisses of love and support as we move through these changes in whatever way they may be, big and small. Thank you so much for correcting us, for helping us, for healing us, for liberating us in the ways that you do, Yahweh, in the ways that you do. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And uh, again, we just ask, please keep our hearts open, keep our hearts clean, help our hearts be light as a feather, and our minds joy and still and happy and clean. And we thank you so much for also aligning our heart and our mind with the body to be one unity in union and in alignment with love. We appreciate you, Yahweh. And in Jesus Christ's name, I like to pray in Krishna consciousness, Buddha consciousness, all the consciousness of love and light. I thank you so much. Now we're going to have a good day and a good night. And so, yes, and so it is, y'all. So, if you would like to send a prayer, or you have a message, or you have something to say about this, maybe you know a little bit more about this topic, go ahead and email me at faithprayercircles@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to go over things, to send a prayer for you, or to receive a prayer, or information to discuss. And I thank you for those who've been emailing, who've been sending messages, sending prayer requests. And so your prayers are heard and always answered. And I also want to say if you'd like the videos and then also share them with somebody. Maybe there's a message that somebody needs to hear. If you would like to join the WhatsApp circle or the Zooms live, you can join. Just email me so you could figure out how to get the information for WhatsApp to join the WhatsApp group where you'll find the link and it keeps us connected in truth and love and unity. Okay. So much respect to you guys, much respect. And I wish for you beautiful foundations of joy, of peace, of liberation, of truth, of serenity, of ease within you. And so it is. Namaste.